That voice in your head, the one whispering, "You're too sensitive, too needy, too much," isn't yours. It's theirs. And today, we're evicting it. You don't remember when it started. Maybe it was the way your mother sighed when you cried, or how your father's silence felt heavier than a scream. But somewhere along the line, you learned a brutal truth. In your family, love wasn't unconditional. It was a transaction, and you're always in debt. Narcissistic families don't raise children, they farm supply. You were assigned a role before you could talk. The golden child, perfect but hollow. The scapegoat, blamed for everything. Or the invisible one. Your needs erased like pencil marks. And here's the cruelest part. You didn't even know it was happening. Because when you're born into a distorted reality, the madness feels normal. The gaslighting blueprint. They trained you to doubt your own mind. When you said that hurt me, they laughed. You're too dramatic. When you failed, they hissed. We're ashamed of you. And when you succeeded, who do you think you are? This isn't parenting. It's psychological hazing. And your brain rewired itself to survive, developing hypervigilance, scanning every facial twitch for danger, toxic guilt, feeling responsible for their moods, and emotional amnesia, blacking out chunks of childhood. The scapegoat's curse. If you were the family punching bag, you know this scene too well. The narcissistic parent points at you, screaming, "You ruined this family," while the others nod like puppets. What they're really saying, "We need a human trash can for our shame." And you believed it. That's why compliments still make you flinch. Why you sabotage relationships before they get too good. Your nervous system thinks love is a prelude to pain. But here's what they never wanted you to know. That moment when you first thought, "Wait, this isn't love. This is hostage negotiation." That wasn't rebellion. It was your soul fighting its way back online. You started noticing the cracks. The way your mother's sacrifices always came with itemized guilt. How your achievements were met with silence, but your failures got a standing ovation. That Thanksgiving when Uncle Mark drunkenly said, "You've always been the strong one," and suddenly you realized they've been draining you like a battery for decades. The cognitive dissonance, earthquake, your body knew before your mind did. The migraines before family calls. The way your hands shook when a name popped up on your phone. Science explains this. When your brain detects danger, but your survival depends on denying it, your nervous system goes into civil war. That's why just setting boundaries feels impossible. You're not fighting them. You're fighting the Stockholm syndrome they bred into your cells. The narcissist playbook exposed. Triangulation. They pit siblings against each other. Why can't you be like your sister? So you're too busy competing to unite against the real enemy. Emotional incest. Parentified children become therapists for their parents' marriages. A role that leaves you fluent in others' emotions, but illiterate in your own. The blame laundromat. Every family crisis gets funneled through you. Divorce? You stressed us out. Financial ruin? Your college tuition. Even their cheating is because you weren't giving enough attention. The turning point. For you, it might have been finding old journals where 8-year-old you wrote, "I wish I was better." Seeing your partner's horrified face when you casually mentioned, "Dad threw plates at us." That therapist who said, "Healthy families don't keep score." And watching your entire history unravel. This is where most get stuck, in the no man's land between "I see the truth" and "now what?" Because realizing your family's love was conditional isn't a breakthrough. It's a nuclear bomb. And in the rubble, you will find fragments of yourself they convinced you to bury. They told you you'd be nothing without them. But here you are, still standing, still breathing, still fighting. That's not survival. It's a revolution. The first morning you wake up without their voice in your head will feel like walking out a house that's been on fire for decades. The air will taste too clean. The silence will feel too loud. And for a moment, you will panic because freedom, after a lifetime of captivity, is the most terrifying peace you'll ever know. Rewiring your nervous system. Your body has been a battlefield. Now, it becomes your sanctuary. The 3-minute grounding technique. Do this when flashbacks hit. Name 3 things you see. Window, coffee mug, sunlight. Touch 2 textures. My jeans are rough. My ring is cold. Say one truth. I am safe now. Repeat until your heart rate drops below 90 BPM. Dopamine detox for 30 days. Avoid all toxic nostalgia, old photos, drive-bys to their house, checking their social media. Replace it with new dopamine sources, cold showers, weightlifting, learning a useless but joyful skill, juggling, whistling with your fingers, building your chosen family. Healthy love doesn't keep score, require self-betrayal, leave you in constant fight or flight. Spot the keepers by the comfort test. Do they notice when you're dissociating before you do? The boundary test. Do they celebrate your no s as much as your yes yes? The silence test. Can you sit together without performing? The art of thriving without their approval. When you buy your first home without their input. That's revenge. When you dance badly in public and don't hear their voice shaming you. That's revenge. When you realize their opinion of you no longer dictates your worth. That's victory. The final truth. Narcissistic families plant weeds in your psyche and call them flowers. But roots can be dug up, soil can be replaced, and one day you'll bloom so wildly, so unapologetically, that their shadows won't even reach your petals. Drop in the comments if you're ready to grow, not from your wounds, but despite them.